Pisces, what seemed like loss now reveals itself as a passage. The week begins by offering light, and you will want to have your heart and head attentive. I am Soraya of the Tarot. Welcome to the channel. Today I take you through a clear script: protection of your brilliance, decisions that put your life on track, love that respects limits, and finances treated with affection. Before moving on, I bring a mantra to anchor the vibe and unite our community in the comments. I protect my brilliance and receive what is rightfully mine. Write this sentence in the comments. It reinforces an agreement with yourself. Say yes to what strengthens you and no to what wears you down. Here we treat forecasts like a beacon. They indicate directions, not impositions. Your free will is the compass. In this video, you'll see how your rebirth already draws attention, so we protect your aura with simple and safe practices, set priorities firmly, and make room for genuine connections. If a deadline is tight, stay calm. When communication fails, your lucidity remains firm. For difficult conversations, use a phrase that preserves your peace. I need to evaluate this proposal calmly. I'll get back to you tomorrow with the answer. Pisces, I recognize your trajectory. You held the world when it seemed impossible. Now strength translates into fairer choices. When someone brings drama, remember a healthy boundary. Today, I choose to say no to what drains me and yes to what pacifies me. This is not coldness, it is emotional maturity. Our focus, real support, practical rituals without exaggeration, and a plan that gives you ground. In today's episode, we go through the week with 5 cards as symbolic milestones. The Sun indicates visibility and joy. The King of Swords asks for clarity and documentation. The 9 of Pentacles seals independence and responsible pleasure. The 3 of Cups activates networks of support and celebration. And the Knight of Swords speaks of quick messages that ask for caution with promises. We will talk about self-worth, saying no without guilt, and accepting help when needed. Each day you receive objective action, emotional care, and the result that tends to emerge when you act consistently. At the end, we say a brief prayer to Raziel, an archangel associated with inner wisdom, to illuminate decisions and reveal what needs to be seen. And in all chapters, we are careful with language. It is Libra, it does not vibrate. Aura, not Laura. Raziel, not racial. Thus, we strengthen credibility and respect for their time. Now we move on to a quick overview of the week, so you can understand the order of the topics and how each move prepares the next. With the intention aligned and the mantra fixed, we make room for good news. Before moving forward day by day, here is the map that guides the week. The common thread is simple: protect your energy, make informed decisions, welcome fair help, open yourself to sincere connections, and celebrate the autonomy you've been cultivating. No magic shortcuts. Everything is based on concrete actions and the symbolic reading of the cards that guide the rhythm. 5 milestones structure the script. First, the Sun starts by bringing visibility, vitality, and a sign of prosperity. That's when we reinforce your protection and clean up external interference with safe practices. Next, the King of Spades. He asks for reason, assertiveness, and written records. Legal matters, contracts, reports, or opinions come on the radar. A trusted advisor can make a difference. In the unfolding, the 3 of Cups. Friendships, community, celebration, and the possibility of meeting someone special through your circle. Then, the Knight of Swords. Quick messages, seductive promises, urgent invitations. You balance speed with prudence. Finally, the 9 of Pentacles. Independence, responsible pleasure, and a more mature financial plan for the next 90 days. The emotional panorama is also clear. There is recognition of your past pain and the effort that brought you here. We avoid the savior narrative. You don't need to fix anyone to be loved. We remember healthy limits and ethics of care, offering support without canceling oneself out, and accepting support when it strengthens one's foundation. Precise language matters. Aura, not Laura. Libra as a symbol of justice and balance. Raziel as a reference to the wisdom that reveals the hidden in a loving way. Each day, you receive 3 practical points: an objective action, emotional care, and the likely effect when there is coherence. The goal is to avoid grandiose promises and prioritize what you control. Community mantra reinforcement. I protect my brilliance and receive what is rightfully mine. Comment on this phrase to establish focus and belong to the healing wheel that we have built here. Now that you have the big picture, we move on to Monday, when the sunlight clears paths and a simple gesture of protection keeps you centered. The week dawns with brilliance. The sun indicates renewed spirits, higher self-esteem, and a real chance of good news related to money, invitations, or recognition. It's a great day to show up, send proposals, and resume conversations that were stalled. To sustain this vibration, we take care of your energy field with simplicity and prudence. Objective action number 1, renew your amulet. If the old has broken, thank the cycle, discard it with respect, and replace it with something you consecrate with clear intention. Objective action number 2, safe energy bath in the last rinse. Dilute 1 part vinegar in 3 parts water. Apply from the neck down, avoiding eyes and wounds. Do a test on a small area of skin and observe. Objective action number 3, assemble a small bag with 3 cloves and a dried bay leaf for your purse, pocket, or backpack as a physical reminder of your protection. Emotional care of the day. Don't explain yourself too much. When someone questions your choice, choose a short answer. Right now, I prioritize what feels good for me. This sentence ends discussions that only confuse. For those who deal with envious looks, remember, brightness is not apologetic. It lights up and moves on. And if a request for a loan or favor comes up that crosses your limits, use "now I can't, but I can show you a way." Likely outcomes when you act consistently. A message that opens up opportunity, a payment that is confirmed, a conversation that aligns. You may feel the aura firmer and the mind more stable, which improves decisions during the rest of the week. Use the moment to sow intentions. Set a concrete goal for the next 7 days and write it down in a visible note. Light humor to relieve tension. Old amulet asked for vacation. Promote a new one and sign with your energy. Remember, visibility goes hand in hand with responsibility. If something public comes up, quickly review your communication before publishing. Small adjustments prevent noise. To strengthen belonging, write the mantra of the week in the comments. I protect my brilliance and receive what is rightfully mine. Tomorrow, the King of Swords enters, asking for serenity, well-checked documents, and words that build bridges without giving up their center. Tuesday calls your mind to the place of leadership. The King of Swords points to objectivity, ethics, and precision. Today, any conversation involving contracts, reports, commercial proposals, medical opinions, or legal negotiations requires organization and formal registration. Clarity is not coldness. It is care for you and for those who participate in the process. Start by listing the pending issues in 3 columns. What requires your signature, what needs technical review, and what should be postponed due to lack of reliable information. Objective action number 1, confirm promises and deadlines in writing. If someone only presents conditions verbally, ask for the document or the detailed email. Suggested standard answer. To move forward safely, I need everything in writing. This way, we guarantee transparency for both. Objective action number 2, separate fact from assumption. Write what is proven, and next to it, what is opinion, fear, or expectation. This screening clears emotional noises. Objective action number 3, if there is a legal, accounting, or medical issue, consult a professional and ask clear questions. Experts work best with objective data. Emotional care of the day. Don't get into ego disputes. If you notice someone trying to slow down your bloom, stabilize the tone. You can say, I need to evaluate calmly and return by tomorrow. This keeps the door open without giving in to pressure. Also remember that the energy of Libra, associated with justice and balance, favors agreements that respect both parties. The King of Spades guides intelligent, non-aggressive cuts. Eliminate excesses, preserve the essentials, move forward with sobriety. Probable results when you act coherently, a contractual adjustment in your favor, a pending document that is finally moving, a corrected budget with more realistic forecasts. His confident posture attracts respect and sets the tone for the coming days. And if an authoritarian figure appears trying to control your movements, keep the protective phrase, "At the moment I follow my plan. I'll let you know when it's the best time to talk." Beautiful conversation in chance, but who seals commitment is the signature in the right place. To anchor the field, remember the mantra in the comments, "I protect my brilliance and receive what is rightfully mine." With her head aligned and the paper in order, the fourth shows how generosity with limits opens doors without draining her energy. The Six of Pentacles speaks of reciprocity, supporting without exhausting yourself and accepting help without guilt. Today, you choose emotional and financial sustainability. Instead of responding on impulse, apply the rule of yes with edge. I help if it doesn't hurt my budget, my lifetime, or my health. If not, offer alternatives. I can indicate an accessible service or arrange for another date. Objective action number 1, do a quick review of the flow of money. List 3 expenses that can be reduced or replaced with smarter options. Objective action number 2, select a micro investment in yourself for this week, such as a short course, a technical book, or an item that improves your work. Objective action number 3, set clear limits on recurring requests. Useful script. I value our relationship, but at this moment I can't fulfill this request. I can help in another way. Emotional care of the day. Free yourself from the idea that denying a favor is equivalent to being indifferent. Saying no to a pattern that weakens you is saying yes to what keeps you whole. At the same time, if someone ethical and trustworthy reaches out, please receive it with gratitude. Belonging is also allowing yourself to be supported. If you feel guilty, breathe and remember, my support is real, but it needs to be sustainable. Probable results when you act with coherence. Expenses under control, preserved energy, a sense of fairness in exchanges, and a relationship that matures because it starts to respect clear measures. Small adjustments produce immediate relief, and when the budget breathes, creativity flows again. Who has never been the invisible account of the group? Today, only what makes sense and fits in the pocket is divided. To stay packed, comment on the mantra of the week, I protect my shine and receive what is rightfully mine. Thursday calls for intentional pause to organize the mind and listen to what your inner wisdom has to say. The Hermit points to a pause that is not escape, it is strategy. You mute the noise to hear your own voice and separate the essentials from the accessory. Set aside 20 minutes, 5 of quiet breathing, 10 of free writing, and 5 to reread and highlight a concrete decision for the next 7 days. Write down the first step that fits today, small and objective. Objective action number 1, protect your attention. Put your phone on silent for half an hour and close tabs that don't serve the current task. Objective action number 2, write down 3 questions that need answering. Example: what is really urgent? What delivery brings me closer to a real goal? What limit have I been postponing for fear of displeasing it? Objective action number 3, a visible self-care gesture. It could be styling your hair, choosing an outfit that represents your phase, or completing a simple fit at home. Small physical interventions help consolidate internal decisions. Emotional care of the day. Self-love is not proven with sacrifices, but with constancy. If a relationship, partnership, or habit consumes your calmness, observe without dramatizing. Write, today, I prioritize what stabilizes me. This does not invalidate feelings, organizes priorities. If someone demands an immediate answer, use, I need to reflect and I'll return by tomorrow with a position. Likely results when you act consistently, clarity on what to keep, what to transform, and what to end. Reduction of impulses, feeling of internal space. This breather prepares the ground for firmer communications on Friday, when messages speed up and invitations arrive suddenly. Airplane mode enabled, soft landing of good ideas authorized. To sustain the field, go through the comments again and reinforce the mantra, I protect my brilliance and receive what is rightfully mine. Friday picks up the pace. The Knight of Swords announces messages that arrive quickly, last-minute invitations, and convincing-sounding speeches. The key is to respond with presence and method. Before you say yes, confirm what the proposal supports. If the conversation starts with grandiose promises, take a breath and ask for evidence. The other's haste doesn't have to become your own. Objective action number 1, security checklist for agreements. You only move forward if there is an email with a scope, defined deadlines, payment method, exit clause, and direct contact of the person in charge. Without that, you answer, "For us to move forward, I need this documented information." Objective action number 2. If the topic is romance, adopt the 24-hour rule. When your heart races for beautiful words, wait a day before any definitive decision. Charm is welcome, but commitment requires consistency. Objective action number 3. Centralize communication. Bring together scattered conversations in a single channel and summarize what was agreed. This prevents noise and helps maintain clarity. Emotional care of the day. Don't get into disputes where the goal is just to win arguments. Today, you preserve your energy. If someone tries to confuse you with contradictory speeches, say, "I need written alignment to move forward." This reduces manipulation and puts you back at the helm. Remember, you are enough. You don't need to prove value with immediate answers. Probable results when you act consistently. Document confirmation. Invitation to participate in a group or event of interest. Progress in a process that was stalled. The flow speeds up without running you over because you've set milestones. If someone from the past comes up wanting to reconnect with promises of change, ask for practical demonstrations. What are you willing to do differently? Make it clear that pattern repetition no longer fits in your script. Seductive conversation is music. Who pays for the ticket is the signed contract. To strengthen the field, comment on the mantra, "I protect my brilliance and receive what is rightfully mine." With this foundation, Saturday makes room for lightness. The Three of Cups brings pleasant encounters, a sense of belonging and the opportunity to strengthen old bonds while meeting new people. Joy here is not noise, it is emotional nutrition. You grow when you share, listen, and allow others to see who you are becoming. The rule is simple: true presence and clear intention. Objective action number 1. Attend a meetup, in person or online, linked to your current interest. Go with a question on the tip of your tongue, something that generates sincere conversation, such as, "What have you learned at this stage?" Objective action number 2. Practice the social mantra during the day. I attract gentle, reciprocal connections. This guides your focus towards relationships that add up. Objective action number 3. Arrange with a friend a small celebration ritual, a coffee, a quick call, a symbolic toast, to recognize the week's achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Emotional care of the day. Don't strive to fit where your value needs to be explained all the time. Note where your presence is welcome and where there is room for fair exchange. If an invitation comes from someone who usually sucks your energy, respond with affection and limit. "Today I can't. Let's schedule it when I'm more available." This gesture preserves your peace without closing doors. Likely results when you act coherently. A dialogue that turns into collaboration. A flirtation with potential through friends. An opportunity that arrives in a celebratory mood. Self-esteem gains ground because you see yourself in loving mirrors. If you're afraid of returning to past patterns, remember what you learned from Tuesday. Clarity and care with promises. Joy and discernment are allies, not rivals. Who would have thought a toast with the right people has the effect of recharging the battery better than a lot of naps? To add to the chain, write the mantra in the comments. I protect my brilliance and receive what is rightfully mine. Ready to close the week with elegance, Sunday brings the 9 of Pentacles, inviting you to celebrate your autonomy and organize a simple plan for the next 90 days. Sunday calls for simple sophistication, Appreciate what you've built and organize the next steps calmly. The Nine of Pentacles represents independence, everyday elegance, and choices that honor your dignity. Today, luxury is having time, clarity, and small pleasures that confirm your worthiness. You don't need permission to take good care of yourself. Objective action number 1, 30-minute lean financial review. Divide into 3 blocks of 10. In the first, list 90-day goals in short sentences. Pay off X, save Y, start Z. In the second, choose a weekly habit that generates measurable income or learning, such as 2 hours of technical study or an additional service with a set price. In the third, establish an incremental emergency reserve, fixed amount per week with date and reminder on the calendar. Conclude by recording everything in a simple spreadsheet or application that you actually use. Objective action number 2. Treat yourself to something symbolic that marks the level. It could be a piece of clothing that represents your confidence, a book that aligns your vision, or planning a small future trip. The goal is not to show off. It is to consolidate the internal message. I value who I am becoming. Objective action number 3. If there is a relationship, partnership, or habit that no longer respects you, prepare a closure or a redefinition of terms. Use a compassionate and firm script. I recognize our history, but I need a format that respects my boundaries. If it is not possible, I will follow another path. Emotional care of the day. Autonomy does not mean isolation. You can enjoy your own company while also opening yourself up to honest support. If guilt appears when you say no, breathe and write. My time has value. My peace is a priority. Repeat until you feel body settling. If anxiety rises when looking at numbers, remember transparency brings freedom. Better to face it with affection than to postpone it with fear. Likely results when you act consistently, a sense of stability, a clear view of next steps, greater self-control over spending and income, and pleasures chosen consciously. An important detail: when you refine your pattern, invitations adjust to your new ruler. People and proposals that don't match tend to lose strength, and that's good news. If this content helps you, leave your like, subscribe, and share it with those who need a gentle push. May your week be one of lucidity, firm limits, and a light heart.